Guys, welcome to the Shades and a brand new video today. We're going to briefly talk about Chelsea's match against Manchester City, the big match over the weekend which took place, and we're going to mainly talk about Chelsea's big match, the so-called must-win match against Valencia in the next few days. On Wednesday is the Champions League match. Chelsea must win, so-called, according to me. I'm going to come on to that, but first we'll talk a little bit about what happened against Manchester City at the Etihad. Well, we all know the scoreline was 2-1. We lost the match. We're taking a lead from Kante and then conceding two goals within the first half. So we had the entire second half, a full 45 minutes, but we could not get one other goal. However, they got a goal disallowed, however, by VAR. Now, that goal should have standed. All due fairness, because he was not offside. Sterling was not offside. But either way, how I feel about that match, I'll just talk about it a little bit before we go to the Valencia match, which is a big match. So Man City, not many people were expecting us to go to Manchester City, go to Etihad and get 3 points, get 1 point, let alone 3 points. But yes, it was surprising when to see N'Golo Kante scoring that goal, and we certainly could take a lead. But initially we had the possession, and that maybe, as well as a couple of people were talking about how maybe Pep wanted us to take the possession, and later on, when required, they shut us out. At what's happened in the second half, where we could not get in and score another goal. Our defense was a little under the weather. It did not look that good. Kepa also did not have a great game, and a couple of other players, Pulisic and everyone. It looked a little below par game for us. Emerson did not have a great game either. And so yes, what to take out from the main game is, from me, I think we have to still go with Kepa, because with a world record fee, we cannot put him down. He will still be our number one goalie, no matter what. Whoever comes in will be a second choice goalie. Whoever comes in now, we cannot replace a world record free goal scorer, a goalkeeper rather, just for the fact that he has had a bad couple of games. He might have bad couple of games and might not have certain things like that, but we have to keep on continuing with him. He's very young. We're expecting him to do better in the coming days. Defense, I felt that maybe Christensen should have played, but then again, Frank being a young manager, he will keep on doing what he thinks right, and sometimes it might not be right, but then again, most of the times we are able to get the results. So obviously that is a good thing. We have done better than what we expected this season. But if you ask me, I think Christensen would have been a better choice to start, where I think both Tomori and Zuma are doing well. They have been a good defensive pairing. Do we see Christensen against Valencia? Maybe. Now, if you look at Sarri's second half of last season, where Sarri had a different team for the Europa Cup and a different team for the Premier League, at times I feel, though we have injuries, at times I feel that with certain matches, especially this matches, kind of matches where Christensen could have played, it might have had a better impact. But then again, we allowed them to score two very quick goals, and we just maybe were not there in the second half. So it's not exactly the defenders' fault, but yeah, Suma and Tomori had a little blip in the game. In the midfield also, Jorginho did not have a great game, and it's normally what is associated with Jorginho. And Pulisic also did not have a great game. Tammy, a big thing I was talking about, and how Tammy is going to improve, and he's going to be a very good striker. He has already done quite a bit this season, but he has always been comfortable playing his mid-table and lower-table teams. So his goal scoring comes with those teams, which gives a little more chance. The defense a little not as good as a top team. But if you look at Tammy Abraham, his goal scoring record against a top team, which will improve eventually in the coming days as he's going to get more experience and more aged, I like to say it that way. He's going to improve only, but I feel that at times he has not come good. And I think this is a learning curve from Frankie as well, that maybe if he brings Michi Batshuayi, and again I understand that Michi Batshuayi doesn't have a lot of things in his game as well, but at times he has a knack of scoring goals against some top teams out of nowhere. So at times, if he is used against some of these big teams, I know it's a big call for a manager, to sit out your number one striker who has done so well, just because you think that there's another player who has not been a regular starter and might do well against a big team, that doesn't give the right messages to your top players, like in this case Tammy Abraham, Mason Mount. The Mount was on the subs bench, which was good because you have three good midfielders in Jorginho, Kante and Kovacic. If they are fit, I don't see a reason why Mount starts up. He will start most likely with Valencia. But in coming back to Tammy, I feel that maybe Tammy at times comes short against the top teams, and certain times I think Michi Batshuayi does the job. Though he got his chance, but if he starts, maybe at times can do well. Maybe against Valencia, maybe if he gets a chance, I'm not sure about it. But this will be an interesting thing to talk about. I'm pretty sure if Michi plays in a couple of matches, he will gain his confidence a bit, which will help his game. But I'm not sure how much Frank will be inclined to drop Tammy and bring Michi on in a big game like this, with the Man City match I was talking about. Now, overall, if you look at Frankie Lampard and how he has been fared, I mean, obviously, there's been talk that his performance against the big teams this season has not been great. However, this is his first season in a top level club football, managing a club like that. And I think he has done an excellent job. Our position says that we were not expected to be anywhere close to where we are right now, number 4th. We're already expecting us to be in 10th, 12th, 13th. We are 4th, which is amazing. You look at some of the teams like Manchester United and Arsenal are struggling. Spurs are also struggling, but then they have a new manager now. But if you look at all these things, keeping in mind, we've done excellently well, but we have to improve our ratio of winnings and points from the top team. And maybe we'll do well once as and when we play Arsenal and Spurs. But we have already lost 2 matches to Manchester United, 2 matches to Liverpool. We got lost to Man City. The only big win, has been against Ajax away from home, which was the big win actually for this season. So it'll be interesting how he takes on the coming matches as and when we play, because some of these teams will be visiting Stamford Bridge, and it'll be interesting how we play in the second half of the season against some of these big teams, because that is also important. Obviously, it's just the first season where we were not expecting much. So I guess winning against the mid-level and the lower-level teams will be enough. But if you see Leicester is having a great season, we have to keep the momentum going so we finish in the top 4. Spurs have a new manager, and they've won against West Ham in a stadium where normally West Ham plays well, but West Ham is having a not so good season this season as yet. We play West Ham next Saturday in the Premier League, and that will be at Stamford Bridge. But it will be interesting to see, because in this season there could be a situation where both Manchester United and Arsenal might have new managers. Spurs already have one right now, so it could be a situation where these teams might buck up, and so we will have to keep on doing what we are doing till now, get those 3 points against whichever teams which we play against, and try to cement up top 4, because top 4 is what we really want. Obviously, none of us should have thought or think about winning the Premier League title this season, because we still behind Man City and Liverpool. We still need a good transfer business, transfer signings, in order for us to match up them. We need good 2-3 players, which I still believe we are short of, and that is showing up when we play some of these big teams, that where we lack. So anyways, it's still not a learning thing, more of a learning curve for both Frankie Lampard, both for the team, and we can take it forward, keeping in mind that we have a huge match, a so-called, as I always kept on saying, a so-called must-win match against Valencia. Will there be much changes in the team from the one which plays in Man City? I doubt that. Maybe Christensen comes in between one of those 2 defenders. Reece James might come in place of Azpilicueta. Mason Mount might come in place of Kovacic, but highly unlikely, keeping in mind that we were Kovacic, Jorginho and Kante and top 3 fielders. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Hudson-Odoi coming back from the injury and getting into the subs bench might be possible. Michi Batshuayi, I'm not pretty sure that he's going to start that match. It's still going to be Tammy. But I think between, what I was saying about the Sarri thing, that you have 3 matches in 8 days, 9 days, you can bring your second striker in a match like this against Valencia. He has played for Valencia for Michy Batshuayi, and he has a knack of scoring goals in this kind of matches. So maybe he gets such a start, and maybe Tammy starts against West Ham a little more fresher. But chances are very less Frankie is going to go that way. But it's a must-win match. Kepa at goal, he will stay at goal. The kind of money that Chelsea has spent, he's not going to get replaced. So some of you might be not happy with his performance, but he's going to be there. He's going to improve. He's only young, very young. He's only going to improve. I'm pretty sure about that. Most likely, I ought to see Christensen coming in place of either Tomori or Zuma. One of them takes the seat back. I mean, it's good for the team as well when you have the players available. Emerson's going to be there. Most likely, Reece James is going to start this match. Azpilicueta, though this game is played in Spain and he will know a thing or two, but I doubt. But you never know. And the three-man midfield, as we talked about, Mount might come in place of Kovacic. It might happen. We'll wait and watch on that. Pulisic on one side, Willian on one side. It's very much that's cemented. And Tammy Abraham most likely, but I would like to see Michy Batshuayi starting the match against Valencia. He needs to be given a little more chance to prove himself. And this is the kind of match where Michy might shine. So it'll be interesting. We need to get this win. We have had a good form away from home, as we have seen it in against Ajax, as we have seen it in other couple of teams, especially in the Premier League. But Valencia has played well after they beat us in the Champions League. They have a couple of very good players, so it'll be interesting to see how we match up. They will at their home at Mestalla. They will be able to match us up. It'll be interesting for us to see if we can get something going. It's a win-win kind of situation, because if we win this match, we're pretty much assured. The next match is against Lille at Stamford Bridge, so pretty much we're going to win it. I don't see Valencia going to Ajax and going to get points out of this. So Ajax themselves needs to win it. I'm going to try to get into the top. We will like to be on the top of the group, and if we win against Valencia and then winning against Lille, we will be at the top of the group, not Ajax. And Ajax will like to do the same, win against Lille and win against Valencia. So I'm pretty much sure it will be Ajax and Chelsea in the next round, but cannot take things for granted. I'm pretty sure Frank is not going to take anything for granted. But I'm hoping that we get something out of this match. A draw most likely, a 1-1 maybe. But I would like to see some of our strikers go in, our attacking midfield go in and score some goals. Away from home, we are expecting a better result for Chelsea this time. Whenever we are playing in the Champions League, we played well against Man City. It's not that we did not. It's only that it felt like, we could have done a little better. But anyways, it's only a learning curve for Chelsea. And in the coming days, if we get a winning against Valencia, which most likely might not happen, but if in case we do so, everything will be back in normal. But as always, I keep on asking you guys to let me know in the comment section what you guys think, what you guys thought about our match performance against Man City. What do you think we will do against Valencia? Keep it coming in the comment section. I love hearing from you guys. So until next time, I leave it over here. Till next time, ciao, bye bye.